Hi there, it's John here from the Lifestyle Development team, and I'm going to be doing the next part of your workout. In this part of the session we're going to look at balance, strength, and then a little bit of stretching at the end to cool down, okay? What I'm going to ask you to do, if you wish, and you don't have to, is if you've got a couple of tins anywhere in your house, like tins of beans or tins of chopped tomatoes, or it doesn't matter, as long as they're the same weight. We're going to use a couple of them for your strength section, just for some upper body work, okay? So if you want to take a wee minute to go and get a couple of tins, you can. You don't have to use them though. And you should be nice and warmed up after Kelly's warm up and pulse raiser that she's done with you. Okay, so I'm just going to be marching. We've just came out of that section. We're going to move into balance now. So, after you've done a few more marches, come to a stop using your chair for support if you need to. We're going to do some heel raises. Yeah? So chair for support, we're going to push up onto the toes and then lower the heels back to the floor. Let's do that 4 to 6 times together. There's 2, 3, 4. If you want to join me for a couple more, let's do a couple more. 5 and 6. Just preparing the ankles to work a little bit harder. So standing tall, chest lifted, shoulder blades back and down. Going to draw the toes up towards you and back to the floor. So the toes come up and back to floor. Good. And again. Good. Keeping your hands on the chair for support throughout. Good. One more. Very good. And now just turn side onto the chair. Yeah, you're turning side onto the chair. I'm going to ask you to take one foot, doesn't matter which one foot in front of the other. So the heel is in front of the toe. And just try and release your fingertips away from the chair if you can, to have that sensation of balancing. If you take your hand away and you're too wobbly, just bring your fingers back to control yourself. Yeah? Excellent. Use the chair for support, bring the feet apart, and just change so that the opposite foot becomes the front foot. Yeah? Again, see if you can just have a fingertip touch on the chair, or if you're more confident, take both hands fully away. If you're too wobbly, bring a fingertip back to the chair. Try and avoid gripping tightly. Perfect. And then bring the feet back together and turn so that you're facing forward once again. Good. And just a wee gentle march there. So what I'm going to ask you to do next is, if you've got a wall near where you are, I've got a wall just here, I'm going to ask you to go to that wall now, and we're going to take some of those movements into a walk. So using the wall for support, we're going to push up onto the toes and we're going to step forward, keeping our weight shifted into the balls of the feet. Yeah. So the heels are up off the floor. We centre the balance between the 2 feet, and then we step forward again. Good. Dropping the heels to the floor, keeping your gaze forward. We're going to step backward to where you started. It's just a few steps. And again, push up onto the balls of the feet and the toes. We're going to take a few steps forward. Just 4 or 5 steps. Keeping the heels up off the floor. And then drop the heels down. Stepping back once again. And one last time, pushing up onto the balls of the feet. Take 4 or 5 steps forward. Drop the heels down and step back once again. Take a wee moment there. I'm just going to move the camera back so you can see with a bit more depth. Yeah, perfect. This time I'm going to ask you to shift your weight back into your heels. So back into the heels, posture tall. We're going to take a few steps forward on the heels. You try and avoid sticking your bottom and your hips out. You want to keep the hips pulled forward and you're just taking a few steps forward in the heels, yeah? Drop the toes back to the floor, keep looking forward and backwards step back to where you started. Good. And again, lift the toes, walking on the heels, taking a few steps forward. You could take your hands away if you feel confident, or keep those fingers on the wall, yeah? And then backwards walk back to where you started. And one last time. Sensation of rolling the weight back into the heels. Your toes may come up or they may not. And take a few steps forward, challenging your balance, using your fingers on the wall if you need to. And then backwards step back to where you started. Very well done. Moving on to a tandem walk. I'm going to take the heel to toe. Chest lifts, shoulder blades back and down, fingers on the wall for support, and we tandem walk. You can take the hands away if you're confident enough. Fingers near the wall for support at all times. Good. Bring the feet together to stabilise, and then just walk backwards, keeping your gaze forwards. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. So heel to toe, posture tall, fingers on the wall for support if necessary. And then bring the feet apart, balance, stable, and then walk backwards. Yeah? One final time. So heel to toe, fingers on the wall or hands at the side if you feel more stable. Very good. Last one. And then bring the feet apart, stabilise, balance on the wall, and backwards walk back to where you started. Good. So let's do one more balance exercise. So we're going to use the chair and also the wall if you need it, so that you've got a hand on the wall and a hand on the chair. Or if you have 2 chairs, then perfect. You could be in between 2 chairs. So posture tall. Fingers on the wall, fingers on the chair. We're going to lift 1 foot up, swing forward and back again. So flamingo swings, dynamic balance. So if you feel more confident, you may wish to take fingers away. If you feel more stable, if you need to, you just put your fingers back. And you can probably hear my toes are just skiffing the floor. Yeah, I'm not landing my foot loudly in the floor, I just let it skiff. Really challenging your balance. One last time. And feet together, make sure you've got a nice stable base beneath you before you start. Just stabilise, posture tall, shoulders back and down. Fingers on your support. And then on the opposite leg, we lift forward and skiff back. And notice that I'm keeping my posture tall throughout. Try and avoid moving the upper body in any way. Fingers are supporting, or if you wish, you can take the fingers away and challenge your balance even more. But as soon as you need to, put the fingers back on the chair or the wall. Perfect. And the last one. Excellent. Bring your feet together and come back to a nice stable base. So you've got that stable base beneath you. Well done, everybody. Let's move on from there. So we're going to move on to some more strength-based work. So we've done quite a bit of balance work there, targeting the legs. As we move into strength, I'm going to start with some wall presses to activate the muscles in the upper body. So again, come to your wall. You're going to take your hands to double shoulder width. So double shoulder width, yeah. Posture nice and tall, your body remains vertical, and then begin to lower your chest down towards the wall and push back. Now have a wee look at your hands. So mine are a wee bit high at the moment, so I might need to draw my hands a bit lower so that they're in line with my shoulders, yeah? And then lower the chest to the wall and power back up. We're going to go for 10 of these. Good. Now, if you feel that's really, really challenging, you may need to just adjust your feet and move in a little bit just to ease the pressure on the upper body, especially the shoulders, the arms and the chest. And these are all the muscles that are working, yeah? Just continue to do your repetitions. We're going to go for a couple more. Excellent, last one. Very well done. Just walk the hands back in together. Make sure you start to activate the feet. Reach for the chair if you need it for balance. Very good. And then come back to your nice stable base. So we're going to move on to a leg strengthening exercise. So for leg strength we're going to do some lunges. So to start with, what I'm going to suggest is that you keep your fingers on your whatever you're using for balance, chairs or the wall. And it was just step forward with one leg and power back through. Now this can be just a step and a knee bend, or you can take it a bit further and come into a full lunge, yeah? Let's do a few of them together. We're going to go for just 4 or 5 of these and then we're going to change. So step forward, bend just as far as you're comfortable going and push back up together, yeah? Let's do a few lunges together. And remember, it could be just a step and bend, or you can come a bit deeper. Whatever feels appropriate for you in your own practice. Let's do one more together. Quite intense lunges. So step back together, have a wee gentle march. Now we're going to transfer that over to the opposite leg. So make sure you sit up in your stable base, posture tall. Shoulders back and down, and opposite leg, step forward and bend. Please remember, if you need to, just a gentle knee bend and push back together. If you can go a bit deeper, come a little bit deeper. Keeping the feet flat on the floor, or the front foot rather flat on the floor, and you're bending through both knees. Let's do one more together. Perfect. Stable base, stabilise, have a wee gentle march there. Doing very well. Just going to move my chair here so you can see me right in the centre. And if you have some tins of beans or peas or whatever that you want to use, if you collect them now, come to the front third of the chair and safely lower yourself back into the chair. Yeah. So with our tins, if you don't have tins, you can do this movement without the tins as weight, just as a body movement. We're going to sit tall, shoulder blades back and down. Make sure you hip walk forward to the front third of the chair, feet nice and flat, and we are just going to curl the tins up towards the shoulders and lower back down. Pretty straightforward, as if you're trying to take the tins up to meet the shoulder, but you're stopping them by keeping the elbows tucked in at the side, yeah? So we're going to go for about 10 of these. And again, it's the same exercise. If you don't have the tins for resistance, we are just doing the movement with the arms, arm strengthener. Good. Very good. I will do one more. And that's roughly about 10 repetitions of these. In your own time, if you're doing this workout again, you could do 2 sets of 10 with your wall presses, 2 sets of 10 with this one, and build your lunges up to a set of 10 on each leg. So moving on, we're going to do some sit to stands. Now I'm going to turn so that you can see my posture. So you're in the front third of your chair, front third of the chair, hip walk forward till you get there. The chest's lifted, the tummy muscles are nice and tight. I begin to draw my toes back ever so slightly, push my heels down, giving me leverage through the legs. Keep the chest lifted, lean forward, and then power up to stand. Gently pump the feet at the top, walk the feet back, and then safely lower your hips all the way back into the chair. Good. Sit tall. Hip walk forward using your hands if you need to bring you forward in the chair. Sit tall. Slide the toes back ever so slightly. Lift the chest, lean forward, power up tall. Marching at the top. Bring those feet back to the chair and then lower your hips all the way back slowly into the chair. Sit tall, hip walk forward to the front third of the chair. Draw the toes back slightly, lift the chest, lean forward, power up. March the feet at the top. That helps, especially if you encounter dizziness, helps to reduce that, and lower back safely into the chair. We're going to go for 10, okay, so that's 4 that we've done together. Hip walk forward, posture tall, slide the toes back, lean forward, power up, and pump the feet at the top, come back to the chair, and then lower yourself all the way back into the chair. Halfway through the set now, walk the hips forward, slide the toes back, lift the chest, lean forward, power up. That time I used my hands and my thighs, and you can do that if you feel you need to. Lower yourself safely into the chair and hip walk forward. So this time I'm not going to use my hands, just slide my toes back, lift the chest, lean forward, hands at the side, power up. What I would like you to do is do the version that is most appropriate for you, yeah? With the hands, without the hands. So hip walk forward, slide the toes back, chest lifts, power through and up. And then march back to the chair. Once you touch the chair, safely lower back into it. Hip walk forward. I think we get 3 to go. I might be giving you 1 extra, so I'm sorry about that. Chest lifts, lean forward, power up, hands on the thighs if you need them. Pump the feet, march back, safely lower into the chair. Good. Hands on the chair, hip walk forward. Slide the toes back. When you're in position, lift the chest, lean and power. Good. Marching at the top, walk back to the chair and safely lower yourself back into the chair. Hip walk forward. Posture tall, lean forward and power up. Last one. Hip walk forward and then as slow as you can, lower those hips back, really controlling the lowering phase all the way back. And relax there for a wee minute. Good. I'm just going to stand and turn my chair, but you stay seated for me please, okay? So well done everybody. One last strengthening exercise. I'm going to move in a little bit closer so you can see my posture. This is a kind of upper back strengthening exercise. All I'm going to ask you to do is bring your hands onto the thighs, palms upturned, and all I would like you to do is have the sensation of squeezing the shoulder blades back together and down, and then releasing the hands forward. So draw those shoulder blades back together and then bring the hands back to their starting position above the thighs. Squeeze back and release. Let me turn side on. So I squeeze back and release. Good. We're halfway there, so we're going to go for 5 more. Good. Squeeze those elbows back. Feel the space between the shoulder blades tighten up, then relax. Last 3. Very good. 2 and 1. And well done there. Good. And then if you could, for me, just have a wee gentle march on the spot there. So you keep marching while I readjust my chair. Very well done. Excellent, give the hands a wee shake out there. Let's start our stretches. So this is our final component. So our stretches, flexibility. Lengthen out one leg. It doesn't matter what leg it is to start with. Lift the chest. Place both hands onto the bent knee. And we're going to take the chest forward as if you're trying to connect. Imagine you're trying to connect your chin to your toe. Yeah? But you're keeping the back straight and the shoulder blades pulled back. So you feel a tightness in the hamstrings in the back of the leg. Begin to sit back gently and now pull the toe up in towards you, but keep the heel on the floor and the chest lifted. Very well done. We're stretching the calf muscle this time. Okay. Perfect. Changing legs. Okay, so take the opposite leg out. So keep the leg long and lengthened, 2 hands on the bent knee, keep the chest lifted, tummy tight, and begin to bend forward as if you're taking your chin down towards your toe. And keep the back of that leg nice and long and lengthened. Sitting back, we turn the toe, pushing the toe towards the ceiling, lift the chest, shoulder blades back and down, stretching into the calf this time. Very good. And we're going to release that stretch. Take one hand onto the same shoulder. Start to walk the fingers back towards the shoulder blades and use the supporting hand to gently press back. So stretching through the upper arm. And then take the hand up, point up towards the ceiling, go as high as you can, and release. Changing arms. Fingers go to shoulder. And then the elbow starts to come up as you walk those fingers back between the shoulder blades. Supporting hand comes on and gently presses the elbow back. Hold for a few seconds. When you're doing these, we can hold them for anything from 10 to 30 seconds. We're doing about 10 seconds today. Then really stretch the fingers up towards the ceiling, high as you can. And we're going to release, protecting the arm on the way down. If you need to, let me turn on so you can see this final stretch here. Just sitting nice and tall. I'm going to reach my hands either for my hips or for the back of the chair. And you can still see I'm in the front third of the chair, and that allows me to get a deeper stretch through the chest muscles. Chest and arms. We're going to hold on to that for a few more seconds. And gently release. Perfect. I said that was the last one, but I lied. This is the last stretch. Just sitting tall again. Reach both hands back as if you're in your chest stretch. I'm going to take the left hand away and reach for the right knee and just twist off to the side. Remember, if you feel unable to reach for the chair, this hand could just be on your hip. Yeah? Well done. We're going to reach that hand back for the chair, release the right hand, take it to the left knee and twist the other way, stretching through the spine. Well done. Release, bring both hands back onto the knee, and now you can relax back into your chair. Now you can relax. Take a couple of deep breaths and just prepare yourself to do some Tai Chi. We're going to do a wee bit of Tai Chi. I'm going to stay seated for it, okay? So very straightforward. I'm going to come back so you can see my arms a bit clearer. Very straightforward. Going to breathe in. Draw the hand up the midline of the body. Follow the hand of my gaze as it drifts to the side and lowers. Sorry, let me go back further so you can see my full posture. So the hand drifts to the side and lowers, and as this one lowers, the other one raises, and it begins to drift to the side. I follow it with my eyes, and as it lowers, this other one raises up the midline. So as one goes down, one goes up. As one drifts to the side, the other drifts to the midline. And we just repeat that process nice and gently at your own pace. You don't need to work at the same pace as I'm working at. You can work at your own pace. This is called waving hands like clouds, and it's a Tai Chi exercise. And the key is to try and get the harmony between the left and right hand movement. As one hand comes up the midline of the body, the other hand's dropping down at the side. As one hand drifts out to the side, the other hand comes to the midline. And they're constantly working in this fashion, together, working together. drawing the hands back to the start, back where they started, the front of the belly button. Let's give them a wee shake out, just to finish off there. And you can relax now. So well done everybody for taking part in this falls prevention video today with Kelly and myself. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep practicing as often as you can, and if you have any questions for Kelly or myself, please stick the questions or comments underneath the Facebook video and one of us will get back to you. So well done everyone, take care, see you soon, bye bye.